Robbie's Pokeparty game show, featuring Fawn, Jackfed, Blackboy, and Dawn, a video that would have come out next week, is postponed indefinitely. I made a mistake in my OBS settings and the audio for the players was not recorded, and I need to make an entirely new board. In the meantime, please enjoy my hide and seek videos with Opal Crumble, Water Shiny, and Fawn, as well as Robbie for Short's Drag Race Simulator Season 3 featuring Aria Zero. Both are up on my channel. Now, back to the video. Hello everyone, my name is Roberto Alexander Dimitri Sigelski, but you may call me Robbie for short. And today we're giving every winner from RuPaul's Drag Race a signature shiny Pokemon. I'm joined by the most rude and disgusting individual that I have ever had the misfortune to meet. He is known as the originator of the PPE score for having a Twitter feud with Deja Sky, being a world-class troll to thousands of chronically online Drag Race fans, and the guy who helped me get monetized on YouTube. He's even had a single letter name before Q made it cool. Say hi, troll.
Hi everybody. Well, thank you for this lovely introduction, Bianca. I mean, Robbie. You know, this is quite fitting of a matchup. I like drag, I like Pokemon, and I like shiny things. I've been playing Pokemon for like 10 years now, and I have never in my life seen a shiny other than the shiny Gyarados. So I'm not sure if I'm the best person for the job, but I'll do my best.
You can call me Bianca. It's fine. I've been compared to Bianca Del Rio before. I'm assuming out of drag because I don't look like a clown.
Are you sure about that?
This is an ongoing series with many more Drag Race seasons to cover. Make sure to subscribe to stay caught up on new videos. And since you want to compare me to her so much, if we reach 10,000 subscribers on this channel, I'll make a video with Bianca's Pokemon team and all of Drag Race Season 6. And without further ado, let's get started. This video idea was suggested to me by Mikey Beardy on Instagram. RuPaul's Drag Race recently finished its 16th season, but let's go back to the season that started it all. Our very first winner is BeBe Zahara Benet. She made her mark on the show with her classic yet feminine style of drag. She was well suited for the title of America's first drag superstar, in a way, filling the role of RuPaul's protege. For BeBe's signature Pokemon, I chose Solgaleo, based on her all-star variety show performance from All Stars 3. BeBe is from Africa, specifically from Cameroon, and Solgaleo is based on a lion. Lions can be found in the savannas of Africa, south of the Sahara Desert, and BeBe often made references to feline motifs throughout her run on the show. Solgaleo feels perfect for this look due to the deep red colors she often wears in her looks. This video is an excuse to give the queen some legendary or mythical Pokemon, though other queens may simply have regular Pokemon that better showcase their characters. One such queen is Chad Michaels. BeBe and Chad both coincidentally won the first season of a separate Drag Race series, in Chad's case, All Stars, and share a birthday. Why don't you take this one from here?
You're giving me an easy one to start out with. I'm going to try to focus my picks on the queen's looks from their winning seasons, so since we're talking about Chad, we gotta go back to All Stars 1. There aren't many looks to go off of, but I think I found an almost exact match. For Chad, I chose Shiny Alakazam to be her signature Pokemon, based on Chad's promo look for All Stars 1. The pink and yellow are almost the exact shade, and the angular design of Alakazam's body lends itself well to Chad's look here. They're also kind of similar in concept. Alakazam is the final evolution in a very strong line of Pokemon, one of the strongest of the first generation. Likewise, Chad is a strong competitor, one of the strongest the show has ever seen, and in order to win, or, to reach her full potential, she had to be traded to another season in a way. With Alakazam being a psychic type, there's an inherent correlation with intelligence there, and Chad was very cerebral during most of the challenges on both Season 4 and All Stars 1. But I wonder, when are we going to get a Mega Chad Michaels with a beard and all?
Since we're not tackling these in any particular order, let's talk about Raja next, the winner of Season 3. She's also a consolation prize winner on All Star 7, which I've made a video about that you should totally go watch. From that video, Raja already has a shiny Pokemon, Hoopa, but that feels like a cop-out, especially for the original Queen of Fashion. Raja's signature shiny Pokemon is Slitherwing. based on her grand finale eleganza runway from All-Star 7. Slitherwing is based on Volcarona, and likely borrows inspiration from multiple species of moths, and its shiny form opts for a bluish-purple color that complements Raja's look very well. This is arguably the most incredible look Raja has ever showcased on a RuPaul's Drag Race stage. It looks alien yet prehistoric, all at the same time, which is a perfect description of what the Paradox Pokemon of the past are supposed to be. Raja's fellow All-Star 7 competitor is Jinkx Monsoon, who is also the winner of Drag Race's 5th season. Jinkx is such a well-established Pokemon trainer on this channel that I don't feel like she needs any more extravagant Pokemon. She's already partnered with the likes of Zacian and Diancie, so I decided on a funny, more unexpected choice. Her signature Pokemon is Vivian, based on her crowning look from Season 5. Jinkx has showcased 2 garments that feature butterflies on the show, this one and her Veiled runway from All-Star 7. Vivian, as you may know, may come in multiple patterns, and this Vivian would have a Monsoon pattern. I refuse to give a Jinkx to Jinkx. As controversial a decision as this may be, it feels so predictable to me, and arguably very unimaginative. As a winner of both a regular and an all-star season of Drag Race, I feel that Jinkx Monsoon deserves Pokemon that match her character, and I don't think Jinkx captures that. Speaking of All-Stars winners.
Yeah, let's talk about one of my favorite winners in retrospect, Alaska. Alaska's winning game on All-Stars 2 was, I would say, the last time a villain won a season of Drag Race. With that, I was thinking, Alaska is an alien, so we gotta go a little creepy with it. That's why I matched Alaska with Shiny Formosa, who could probably kill it on an all-star season. Look at her! The look that I'm matching Shiny Formosa here with is Alaska's Cockroach, a reunion look after All-Stars 2. Regarding the design, it just writes itself. Formosa is literally a cockroach, and the lighter parts of her palette match the lighter parts of Alaska's look. The darker shades match the darker aspects of the look too. Formosa is also one of the several Ultra Beasts introduced in Sun and Moon, so it quite literally is an alien, an invasive species. They're kind of treated as mini villain bosses in those games, even though I would say they're victims, but that's not the topic of this video today. Alaska is also, like I mentioned, a villain in All Stars 2. And I think she chose her reunion look to be full of cockroaches because, just like a cockroach, you could not kill her or take her down on All Stars. Also, unless Google is lying to me, Alaska and Formosa are very similar in height, so they're basically the same person. I don't care.
Nymphia Wind is our most recent winner, sporting a signature banana yellow brand. There are plenty of yellow shiny Pokemon to choose from, but one in particular stood out to me the most. Nymphia's signature shiny Pokemon is Grookey, based on her red carpet look for the Season 16 finale. Now, Grookey isn't exactly a yellow shiny, but it has a yellowish hue. We know the obvious connection between monkeys and bananas, and Grookey is a funny, mischievous Pokemon that perfectly captures this campy spy look. It reminds me of animated kids movies like Despicable Me, a cartoony kind of spy movie full of childish comedic charm and weird gadgets. Speaking of comedic charm, let's continue with Symone, winner of Season 13. She often excelled as a comedic force in the competition, ending that season with 4 challenge wins, 2 of which were comedy-centric challenges. Every other season, there's a challenge to create a funny advertisement, in this case for a fake soda product. For Symone's signature shiny Pokemon, I chose Swirlix, based on her commercial challenge from Season 13. Symone designed a soda called Sweet Tooth, a drink full of all her favorite things: sugar, glucose, high fructose corn syrup, and whatever else she said in that video. What the heck is gut rot? Swirlix is based on cotton candy, known as fairy floss in Australia, which is just pure sugar spun into a fluffy confection. I like this choice a lot, especially because Symone would make references to her chocolate smooth skin. Swirlix's shiny form is a chocolate brown color, and I think that a chocolate flavored, cotton candy shaped magical creature is the perfect Pokemon for her to have.
Swirlix's regular form would actually work well with the next queen, Trixie Mattel. But we are doing shinies. I can't go for that. However, I think I have the perfect match for Trixie. So, Trixie had these two somewhat similar, aggressively pastel pink looks on All-Stars 3 in her Ugliest Dress redo and Flower Power look. So my pink matchup for Trixie would be Shiny Hatterene? I'm still not sure how to pronounce its name correctly. I mean, just look at it. Hourglass figure, check. All in pink and white, check. Giant hair, check. A bald man underneath all that, check.
All these checks made me think we were talking about Angeria Paris-Van Michaels, but Angeria didn't win season 14. Willow Pill did. Willow is a unique winner who finds humor in dark places, but her signature shiny Pokemon is more appropriate than you might think. I chose Xerneas, based on her successor crowning look from season 15. This beautiful garment is inspired by a willow tree, which in turn is influenced by her drag name. Many people in Western culture view willow trees as symbolizing growth, new life, fertility, and our capability to withstand hardship. Xerneas as a legendary Pokemon is a physical representation of this concept, borrowing inspiration from the multiple depictions of the Tree of Life, like Yggdrasil, the world tree from Norse mythology. I'm also sold on the idea of her being a fairy-type specialist had she not won the season, as discussed in previous season 14 videos. Next, we'll talk about Yvie Oddly, who won season 11 of Drag Race. For Yvie's signature shiny Pokemon, I chose Yveltal, based on her grand finale runway for season 11. This choice has a connection to her drag sister, Willow Pill, who we just talked about, because of Yveltal's role as the counterpart of Xerneas. This finale look is meant to simulate human anatomy, and it looks grotesque yet stunningly gorgeous at the same time. Yveltal's appearance resembles that of carrion birds, like vultures, which eat the remains of other dead animals, referencing this anatomical look. The contrast of Xerneas and Yveltal, representing the cycle of life and death, is also very fitting to their drag aesthetics, which complement each other so well, and the fact that Yveltal shares the same first letter in its name as Yvie made this all the more perfect.
You know, for this next one, I'm gonna try my hardest not to copy the way Raja says her name. It's Monét Exchange. She gave me the hardest time when it came to picking. I saw her club look and thought, oh my god, this would work so well with Zapdos' color scheme and design, but something's just missing there. And I remembered. Zapdos has a Galarian form, whose shiny has the same color scheme as the original, but a much cooler look to it. The Galarian Zapdos is a fighting flying type, and we can relate that to Monét, given that she fought her way to that crown with everything she had. Whether it was strategy, whether it was charisma, runways, lip syncs, politicking, you name it, Monét did it to secure her win. Also, the flying type is something her and Trinity's Pokemon are going to share. The much more angular aspects and the black parts of Galarian Zapdos' design match Monét's aforementioned look so well, and let's be real, Monét is legendary for this show. Her co-winner, twinner, the plusle to her Minun, Trinity the Tuck, is next. This was a lot easier to pick than Monét, not gonna lie. Trinity's angelic white look that Ru and probably everyone watching gushed so much over was my inspiration for the choice of Shiny Altaria. Both its regular form and Mega Evolution work here. Altaria in general just looks so regal, and now with the yellow-gold shade of its shiny form, it matches Trinity's look even more. Trinity on Season 9 had one of the best character arcs on Drag Race. She was overlooked due to being a pageant queen, but she was one of the season's strongest competitors and almost dominated All-Stars 4. Similarly to that, Altaria is sometimes undervalued as a dragon type, one of the strongest types in the game, but it is a very useful Pokemon. Also, Altaria looks like she had her cheeks done, and, you know, Trinity?
They say this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, but what if it was the dusking of the age of Aquarius? She is the winner of Season 10, and to understand the joke I just made, let's talk about her signature shiny Pokemon, Lugia. based on her grand finale look from season 10. Aquaria's drag name is based on her zodiac sign, Aquarius, which is actually an air sign. Much like how Aquarius is commonly mistaken for a water sign because it's symbolized by a water bearer, Lugia is commonly confused for a water type because it's referred to as the guardian of the seas. Lugia is actually a psychic and flying type. Lugia also has dark spikes around its eyes that resemble the masquerade-like mask that Aquaria is wearing with this look. The dusking of the Age of Aquaria is a double pun, both referring the song Age of Aquarius and the Shadow Lugia from Pokémon XD Gale of Darkness. Let's jump 2 seasons back to season 8, whose winner is Bob the Drag Queen. I admittedly had a hard time deciding on a signature shiny Pokemon for her. Ultimately, I decided on Ho-Oh, based on her successor crowning look from season 9. Ho-Oh is based on a phoenix, which symbolizes renewal and regeneration, similar to how this moment in the season's finale represents better things to come. This garment is inspired by African clothing, which has a lot of cultural significance. Ho-Oh is categorized as the rainbow Pokemon, which I associated with the different colors on this look. Gold represents wealth and fertility, blue represents love and peace, and green represents prosperity and life. This choice would technically make Bob Aquaria's counterpart, which could make sense since there are some similarities between their respective seasons' narratives. Both of them clashed with queens that were given a villainous edit. In Bob's case, it was Derek, and in Aquaria's case, it was the Vixen. Though we could make a case that Aquaria should have been treated as more of an anti-hero, which ties into the lore of Shadow Lugia in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness.
Oh, we're talking about the spooky ooky kind of Pokemon? Say no more. I got just the right kind of weirdo for our next queen, Shea Couleé. One of my favorite looks of Shea's is her top 3 runway look from All Stars 5, and one of my favorite Pokemon of all time is Gengar. You might be thinking, what are you on? Shiny Gengar is like a regular Gengar, and the aesthetic does not match Shea's dress at all. And you're right. However, I'm thinking of Shiny Mega Gengar, the giant bottom that seems to be coming out of whichever surface Mega Gengar is on, the white and pink gradient, even though it may not be the right match in color, is a nice juxtaposition in both Mega Gengar's design and Shea's look. When we think gowns and pink and white, we don't really think of something powerful, something regal even. However, Shea was able to show both elegance and power in that look, the same way Shiny Mega Gengar looks so powerful, yet still aesthetically pleasing. The correlation between Mega Gengar's typing and Shea I can't really find, other than the possible joke that she was like a ghost for All Stars 5 when it came to her wedding storyline. Either way, they also represent extremely memorable and franchise-defining characters.
Speaking of franchise-defining characters, Jaida Legend Hall is the franchise-defining winner, having every obstacle stacked against her and still winning. Still have, a global panorama, a disqualification that nearly soured the season, she was cast as an alternate, and she was neither the queen with the most wins, nor with the most favorable fan reception of the 3 finalists. Check the record of winners, they always have either the most wins or the highest fan vote, except for Jaida and Sasha Velour. Jaida's signature shiny Pokemon is Lunala, based on her successor crowning look from season 13. Her grand finale look for season 12 was a great inspiration for this choice, of which I had chosen Cresselia in my All-Star 7 video. I opted for a similar choice of a Pokemon inspired by a celestial body. Lunala can also learn the moves Confusion and Confuse Ray, which reference her "look over there" line from the political debate challenge. It has to evolve twice from its first form, Cosmog, to reach its full potential, which represents how in All-Star 7 she revealed that she hadn't felt like a deserving winner, which she totally is. I also like to think how Lunala is the mascot of Pokemon Moon, the version that undersold its warmer colored counterpart, Pokemon Sun. And that's fine, because Lunala is way cooler. I mentioned Sasha Velour as another franchise-defining queen because she won over the clear frontrunner on season 9, Shea Couleé. Sasha is beloved for her rose petal reveal that broke the lip sync for the crown format. Perfect for a rose raid, but let's save that choice for a champion team. Sasha's signature shiny Pokemon is Tyrantrum, based on her grand finale look from Season 9. Tyrantrum is based on a Tyrannosaurus rex, considered an apex predator in the Cretaceous period, which speaks to Sasha being an artistic threat in the competition. Its Pokédex entry from Pokémon Sword says it has the presence of a king, vicious but magnificent. The Elizabethan collar is the most important connection here, as Tyrantrum has a white spiky ruff around its neck, with both the Pokemon and the look borrowing influences from figures in royalty.
Kylie's up next for me, and despite her name, we know that when it comes to performing, there are a few queens that can hold a candle to Kylie. I wasn't trying to make a Kardashian-Jenner pun, that was just like a happy little accident. So we need something powerful, something fierce, something that maybe needs a little time to reach its full potential. I've actually mentioned this Pokemon already, but I'm gonna match Kylie with Shiny Gyarados. Specifically here, I'm taking inspiration from Kylie's entrance look from All-Star 6. You know, the all red look. Like I've said, Gyarados is the type of Pokemon that you need to work towards getting. Of course, now it's much easier to get a Gyarados given the EXP share being just a mandatory game mechanic for some reason. But back in my day, the amount of switching out that you had to do to get that Magikarp to level 20 was exhausting. Similarly to Kylie, we had to wait for around 11 years for her to win, which, if I'm not mistaken, is the biggest gap between a queen's first appearance and a subsequent win. Obviously, the red in Kylie's look goes with Shiny Gyarados' design, and the minimal spiky aspects of Kylie's look also relate to Gyarados' look. So we have the lore connection and visual correlation.
Next is one of my favorite pairings I've ever made. Violet Chachki is the winner of Season 7, and best known for her absolutely breathtaking fashion. Her signature shiny Pokemon is Darkrai, based on her successor crowning look from Season 8. This truly iconic dress is still the talk of the fandom for its gothic themes, like the spiders on her body and especially the crown encrusted into her skull. It makes me think of that one spell from D&D, Crown of Madness, which makes a humanoid creature of your choice be charmed by you, or in this case, make a whole crowd be charmed by you. Darkrai is associated with bad dreams, and some would argue that spiders are the stuff of nightmares. Violet was also most known for her cinched waist throughout the season, and Darkrai has a tiny waist that is just humanly impossible to achieve. This is arguably the most memorable look in the history of the show, and there's something to say about how 8 years later, we're still thinking, or dreaming, about this look. Another amazing successor crowning look comes from Sasha Colby, Season 15 winner. The breast-covering earrings are a striking combination of elements that we've never seen before on the show. Similar to Violet's skull-encrusted crown, Sasha is another queen whose fashion is so polished and feminine, kind of like her signature shiny Pokemon, Tapu Fini, based on her many looks from her lip sync for the crown on Season 15. Her first look mainly resembles Tapu Fini's black design, and the puffiness of this dress reminds me of Tapu Fini's shoulders. Its overall design is also similar to a tiki statue, and when Tapu Fini's shell is open, it resembles a mermaid or a siren, both traditionally feminine creatures in popular folklore. Tapu Fini seems to be inspired by Kanaloa, one of the 4 major Hawaiian gods and god of the ocean, referencing Sasha's finale performance to Goddess, her Hawaiian heritage, and her water-type specialty from Anitra's Champion Team video.
Listen, we're not gonna be giving Jimbo Jinkx because of the big breastplates. We're not doing that. This is a PG channel.
Except I already did that. Jimbo was the only real chance I was gonna get at giving Jinkx to a Drag Race queen. I know that most of you think of Jinkx as the drag queen Pokemon, but Jinkx is a very controversial design from Generation 1. Watch my All-Stars 8 video till the end because I argued those points, which were very fitting for Jimbo's drag persona. Moving on.
But one of my all-time favorite looks on Drag Race, and my favorite Jimbo look, is her You're a Winner Baby look from All-Stars 8. With this look, I'm gonna pair up Shiny Mimikyu. The prompt for the runway was that the top 5 of All-Stars 8 had to create looks based on garments that previous winners had worn, and Jimbo got to work with Trixie's aesthetic. Trixie is probably the most popular Ru girl right now, and looking at Jimbo's look here, you can actually see the elements of Trixie's drag. But they're so sinister now. It's cute, it's cool, but it's disturbing too. Isn't that basically Mimikyu? A Pokemon wearing something to resemble the most popular thing of its kind, in this case, Pikachu? While Mimikyu is cute in a way and popular for sure, there's something sinister there. The colors don't necessarily match, but the idea behind Jimbo's look and the lore behind the Mimikyu I think work great here.
Finally, our last winner is my so-called lookalike, Bianca Del Rio. This section of the video is a good reminder for you all to subscribe. I promise you, if we reach 10,000 subscribers, I'm making that Pokemon team for Bianca. But for now, let's talk about her signature shiny Pokemon, Chien-Pao, based on her grand finale look from Season 8. Chien-Pao is one of the treasures of Ruin, whose lore establishes 4 ancient items from the old kingdom of Paldea that later became these Pokemon. Its Pokédex entry from Pokemon Violet says, "The hatred of those who perished by the sword long ago has clad itself in snow and become a Pokemon." Bianca is especially known for her brand of hatred for other people, as evidenced by her comedic abilities in various performances. Her season is also revered as the best of the regular seasons in the franchise, which can be seen as a contrast for Chien-Pao's role in competitive play. Of the 4 treasures of Ruin, Chien-Pao is the most popular, appearing in most teams across official Pokemon tournaments. Chien-Pao is also a subtle reference to the Panther from her season's promotional trailer, and its ice typing stands as a comparison to Bianca's chilly little heart. What do you think of our choices?
Wait, Rachel, show me to me, please. I want to do another one.
Who else do we have left? All-Stars 9 hasn't finished yet.
Well, we're forgetting about the most important winner. The queen that wins every season. And no, I'm not talking about Bible Girl. I'm talking about RuPaul. As much as I make fun of Ru, I highly admire him, and his looks can sometimes be so stunning. I especially like RuPaul in gold. Just think of her Season 4 premiere look, the look for All-Stars 3 promo, and that one judging look from Season 7.
Oh, and let's not forget her song, New Friends Silver, Old Friends Gold.
I also found this cowboy-inspired look from Ru that's just chef's kiss. So obviously, I'm gonna pair Ru up with the incredible Shiny Magikarp. Okay, bye!